Hey, and welcome back. In a previous video, I discussed what I thought was the perfect kit for a beginning lockpicker. And while I wish information like that had been more readily accessible when I started picking, it's not so helpful to the intermediate and advanced pickers in the community. Today, I'd like to direct a video at the whole community, at least the part of the community that has or has access to a 3D printer. So let's take a look at what I have on the workbench and we'll go from there. Here we have 4 picks, 3 from Sparrows, 1 from Peterson. When you buy a pick from Sparrows, you have the option to have a thermal handle or no handle. This is a no handle pick. This is the cheapest. They're about $4 a pick. A lot of the times what we'll do is we'll take shrink wrap and put that on the handle to give a little more grip, a little cushioning, make it a little nicer to use. If you pay the $1, you can get that thermodip plastic. Gives it a little bit of cushioning, a little more grip, a little nicer to use. If you double the price, you can get picks from Peterson, which have this plastic molded handle. Nice amount of grip, not much cushioning, but you really don't need it when the pick handle is that big. So, $8, $9 versus 3 to 5, or versus 4 to 5. This is where the 3D printer comes in. Using Onshape, I've designed a 3D printed handle. Prints in one piece and can include letters. A little bit of 2-part epoxy and your Sparrows picks slide right in. Nice amount of grip, not any cushioning, but we have a nice amount of grip. The handles are a little bit longer than the Peterson handles, but otherwise pretty similar in dimensions. I went with the longer handle just because it fit my hand a little better and it goes up to the shoulder of the pick. So, I mentioned I used Onshape to design this. The nice thing about Onshape is that when you create a project using the free version, it's shared among the community. So I'm going to make sure there's a link to this project in Onshape so that you can use it for your own uses. Let's go to Onshape and we'll run through what's there so you can see how to change the lettering or completely remove it if you want. So here we are in Onshape and the Sparrows handle copy has been loaded. First thing we want to do is orient our design in a way that makes sense. So you can grab with your right mouse button and kind of drag it around, or you can use this orientation wheel up in the upper right. Now, if you right click on the design, once it's sort of close and you view normal to, that kind of brings it all into, perpendicularity. Using the mouse wheel to zoom in or zoom out, you can make it take up as much of the screen as you please. The meat and potatoes is over here on the left-hand side. We have default geometry, origin, top, front, right. We don't need to be concerned with those. Sketch 1 is the overall shape of the pick handle. And the extrude is, of course, extruding it in depth. Sketch 2 forms the slot that runs through the handle. And the extrude is, of course, how deep it goes. And you can see here it goes pretty much all the way from open at the right edge to almost all the way through. The chamfer, of course, is the chamfer around the edge of the pick handle. If you want to change that, feel free. Sketch 3 is where the magic happens. Sketch 3 is the lettering on the handle, and the extrude is, of course, how deep into the handle it goes. To make changes to the lettering, you want to edit Sketch 3. So to do that, you just double click it and it'll pop up this information window that says Sketch 3. From here, you just take your mouse and hover around until all of the letters in that little bounding box is highlighted. You right click and you say Edit Text. From here, you just type in your new text. Let's say we're working with a triple peak. So I found fewer letters generally works better just because it doesn't take up so much room on the handle. So I'm going to call it 3-peak. Click that green button and that green button. Now we can see that 3-peak has been put into the handle, and if you right click and drag up, you can see that it's recessed into the handle. We're pretty much done at this point. To export your STL, you're going to go down to the Part Studio tab, right click, and say export. Now we're going to name our file. So this one's called 3-peak. So we're going to name it 3-peak. We want STL. We want units millimeter, fine resolution because we want the best quality we can get. And OK. And it downloads the STL of this file. Now for this batch, I used Lulzbot Green PLA and a layer height of around 0.18. Just a few minutes to print one. If you fill up your bed, of course, it's going to take longer. When you pop it off the bed, you might want to take a little bit of sandpaper and smooth off those edges a bit. A couple drops of 2-part epoxy and your pick is done. Now I like to take a Sharpie and fill in the lettering so that it's extra clear what it is, but your mileage may vary. All right, everybody, I hope that you have found this somewhat useful. Let me know. I'm always looking to please. All right, have a great day, everybody.